Welcome back to part 2 of the Elf Police Showcase. Hello, it's Lucas here, and as I said in the intro, this is part 2, so now we are going to be looking at the spaceships, or ships. And so, remember, this one is the last one, so you're gonna have to wait for this, and I can't wait to show you it, but we're gonna do these first, because they're, I guess, the next in line, and let's get into that. So these are the two ships that we are going to be looking at. This one is completely new for everyone who's ever watched my YouTube channel because I've never shown this one off before. You probably didn't notice it. It was on the top of the Elf Police Tower, or base. I guess you can call it a tower because it's getting quite tall. But this one, to any longtime viewer, this looks very recognizable because this is a very old, well, not very old, but it is a relatively older video. I have one up on this. It's heavily modified, and it looks different, a lot different, at least to me, because I have a keen eye for the details that I made of my own thing, obviously. And I will have I will have a link in the description of this video, the old video, because I feel like it would be nice to at least see it. It's, again, one of the older ones, so the production value is not as good on it, but we'll do this one last just because people have already seen it, and it's also my favorite, personal favorite. But let's get into this one. This is the wide wing, the small wide wing, also known as the Elf Police gunship. Now, it's not the most practical design, but you would sit 4 officers on here, and you'd have a pilot here, and it would swoop down into battle, drop the people off, and then zoom off. Obviously, it would be careful flying because you've got 4 people exposed to the rudder. They'd have, like, stuff to hold them on there, and I was even thinking that it would turn like this and then deploy them. But, all that stuff is just concepts. It's hard to do in LEGO because, you know, LEGO doesn't have the most wide variety, but it's probably doable. I'm not going to do it on mine just because I like how it is right now. But this is a wide wing class gunship, and this is the front. It's really simple. This was a smaller, or this is supposed to be the smaller of 2 wide wing ships, but the other one has so far been scrapped and is not returning. But that doesn't really matter because we've still got this one. It's got very simple interior, or cockpit, I guess. I do hope to possibly make it a bit more detailed. I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. But that's nice. It's very empty, though. And moving down the middle, well, I guess let's do the wings, because these are kind of out of the way. And they're curved together with inverted tile, and it looks nice. It's very simple, like everything else on this. This altogether is a very simple ship, and not too many complicated techniques. Well, not really any complicated techniques at all. And but it's just got alternating gray tiles, which I think looks good. It adds a bit more, detail to it, and design, I guess. And these wings, they just lock into these ports right here, which realistically, they wouldn't have much of a thing other than it just looks cool. But, it's there for the idea. And there's weapons on the bottom, so of course you can shoot, because you don't want to fly into a battle defenseless, because that's kind of a stupid idea. And if they have other ships that are going to be attacking you, which I do have a ship for them. I might do a 3-parter for the criminals, but they don't really have as much as the Elf Police does, although they do have this thing right here, but that's spoilers for part 3, I guess. Anyway, let's go back to the middle. In the middle, there's this little section which you can pop off right here, and there's some resources in here. There's this little box and some parts to put together, and you can attach it into a little mini deployable gun that, you know, your troops can pull out the back, set on the ground, and then it'll either automatically or by someone going. I haven't decided which one I was gonna go with, but you know, it's cool. And this is literally just a Minecraft crafting table. I just thought it'd be nice to have something else in it, and I'll put that down there. And we'll put this back on. A lot of this is tiled off. This back here does look a bit unfinished. I do need to add pieces here. There were like slope tiles or cheese slopes that went up here, but they're gone right now, and I'm definitely gonna try to add some back so it looks a bit nicer. This is the engine. Very simple. There's no thrust detailing. And this little piece right here, or sticker, is from the 2020 X-Wing. So if you wanted to know where I got that from, it's from there. I just pulled it off the sticker sheet and put it on there because it looks cool, and I thought it'd be nice to have something else there. And on the bottom, I guess I should show you this. There's a bit of a landing gear setup. There's just a tile here and a tile here, and these just kind of raise it a little bit above the ground. I'm hoping to possibly make landing gear for these two in the future, deployable landing gear, of course, but that's nothing right now. And I don't know, we'll just have to see where it goes. But next thing up is the L-Police Wide Wing Class Airspeeder, is what I've been calling it, but the name's always been subject to change because I used to call it a starfighter or spaceship or whatever, but it doesn't really fit it because it's really only meant for the skies. It's not really a plane. Well, I guess you could call it a plane, but I just call it the Wide Wing Class Airspeeder because it zooms by in the air, and so that's what it's called. It's not the most aerodynamic design, but some of you, if you're longtime viewers, would recognize this, but you know, it's different. It's very different. This is the front. It's got this huge sloped piece, which looks really nice, I'm gonna be honest. And it has room for this little bevel right here. Don't know what that's for. Maybe it's to help with the aerodynamic abilities. On the bottom, it's got just one of these basic big slope pieces that goes into large hull pieces with this piece, which, once again, if you saw that original review, or if you want to watch it, which it's in the description below, this was actually an accident, and it's stayed here since then, and I just think it's really cool that it's still there. It was part of the display stand I put it on. I took it off, it stayed on there, and it's stayed on there since. And then there's just this little thing. Maybe this holds something special. Maybe it's got like a missile or something you could just deploy. And I think this one, no, this one maybe. I think this is actually a missile port, so maybe this holds the missiles, then this deploys them. And then it's got a red design that kind of tears out until the end. And I mean, when you hold it far away, you can see the design I was kind of going for with the, you know. But going back to the top, this is the cockpit. It's got a nice design. It's nice and flat. These printed windscreens, and you can take it off. There's your pilot minifigure. There's not room for any like intricate details, but there is a little seat rest for him, and you can just put that right back on as normal. And there's these huge slopes here that go back into the wings, which are now tiled, opposed to the studs and whatever. Or they were always tiled, but the tiles were on top of plates, which made it a whole brick thick, which just looked bad. So I flattened them, and now they look a lot better in my opinion. And there's 3 guns now. There used to just be 2 stud shooters on the edge, which I decided no stud shooters. We're going for cool looking things. And this, there's a little bit of red here that goes into a little, you know, aerodynamic. And then there's just more details, random greebly bits. This is the side. These are from the Luke helmet set, which is That's pretty interesting. And these little solar panel things help with its special abilities, you know, and helps give it extra power. And then there's just more random colors. Once again, Luke's helmet. Some of these pieces actually, not a lot of them, but a few of these pieces actually came from that set. And then on the back, we've got just a nice sticker tile, which came from Poe Dameron brick, the big figures, those things, the buildable figures, came from one of those. Who knew they'd actually have a purpose? And then these are like extra thruster pieces, but these are the real engines right here and right here. And then there's also these pieces that just hook up to these thrusters. Other than that, there's not really anything else. You can fold these down like this and then pull this up, but at the current moment it doesn't have an interior, so you know, you can see what's in there right now, but there's nothing much. That's just it for now, and I just broke off the front. That's a common issue, so if you're wondering common issues I have with the design, the front breaks off easily, but this one's nice and sturdy. Anyways, that's it for part 2. Part 3 coming soon, hopefully. I'm excited for this. I'm recording everything on the same day, so you know, for me it's not really as long of a wait. It's more of a wait for me to upload them, because I'm excited to upload this one, because I'm excited to show it off. But you know, it's not as bad for me because I already have all the videos and I get to live with this thing every day. I'm so proud of it. Anyway, that's the video. Remember, this is in the description, so if you want to see the original design, and well, one of the original designs, you can go into the description and find it. It'll just be a little link. Click on it and it'll pop up the video. You can watch it. You can watch 2 seconds of it. I don't really care. It's an old video, so I don't really like it either. So that's all. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like. Subscribe. Also, click the notification bell, because if you want to see that, clicking the notification bell would be good. And on to part 3.